I feel actually incredibly sad. I wouldn't say I'm particularly a royalist, but in my opinion, the Queen's just never put a foot wrong. And I really do feel very, very sad today.
Dumbfounded, like unexpected. Don't really know how to feel.
It's really like I lost someone from my family today.
She's always been around and you thought she was going to be around forever, but she's not.
Feels like we have been in collective denial that this is going to happen, and so it's a shock even though it shouldn't be.
I'm surprised how huge it is for me. I'm 76 years old, so from a little girl I've known about the Queen, and my mom followed everything she did, and to be here, we're here on holiday and we just had to come down and experience it. We've been in to see her jewels today and Windsor and all the places, so I'm just hugely emotional about it, and I think she's loved everywhere across the world. We love her in America for sure.
Well, I grew up in Northern Ireland in the Troubles in the 70s, so you were never very far away from the Queen and all that meant to everybody, and it was great, I guess, for me that we're able to see her come full circle and visit the Republic of Ireland towards the end of her life. So she's left a big mark in everybody. Wonderful, wonderful woman, life well lived.
She just brought us all together as a nation. You just look at the Jubilee, really. Even if you're a royalist or not, she just brought the whole nation together.
Just sad, like it's a sad moment. I'm not really a royalist, I don't really like the royal family, but it's like it's been a constant throughout my whole life, my grandmother's life. I think I'm more sad for like her.
Oh, she meant everything. I mean, she's all I've ever known. I'm 56 and she's only monarch I've ever known. I haven't had anybody else. I just think she's been a fantastic servant to this country and a lot of others and the whole of the UK. And she's just been unfaltering in her duty to this country, and it's just a sad day, really.
Right, maybe we don't have as much of that like close tie and to her and her legacy, but I think you see it just through her, like her charity and all the work that she had done around like bringing the world together in a way. Despite, like, I don't see her as yes, she's a figurehead that is for the UK, but she's almost a global symbol of like. Right, we have political parties that change every couple of years. Like she's one that's just been like a steady sense of stability in a way. It's weird, but that's kind of what I think she brings to like the world, right? She's like been that figurehead that's kind of stayed true for such a long time.
And, what do you think people will most remember her for? What's her legacy going to be?
I think everyone you speak to talks about her hard work. I mean, she didn't stop. And there was never any controversy over her. I know some of the family have let her down over the years, but she's never had any controversy, any faults, and she's just been all about duty. And as I say, it's just heartbreaking, really.
I mean, recently, not the greatest of things. You know what I mean? I think the thing with Prince Andrew sours a lot of things, but I saw a good TikTok of her, and she like pulled up on like a van, and she's just sort of there having a great time, laughing at these guys. And the top comment was, didn't know she was chill like that. So that's what I'd like to remember the Queen, that she was chill. Yeah.
But she was just very safe. She was somebody that was always there. I think in really difficult times, she always said the right thing to bring the nation together. So that's really what she meant for me. She was just consistent and just never put a foot wrong, unlike sort of politicians.
And binded us together. It's worrying now what's going to happen for the future of us. It's not a good time for this to happen. It's never a good time for something like this to happen, but particularly at the moment with everything that's going on.
I think such a majestic woman, so calm yet reaching out in so many ways to people of all kinds. I've always felt that she's just a very loving, benevolent leader and a magical woman.
She swore in our new Prime Minister a day ago. And I think that, worked until literally the last day that she was alive. And she was always a unifying presence, and I think that's going to be her legacy. Doesn't matter what was going on in the country, the Queen and the royal family has been a unifying presence in the country.
She was a strong woman, like in a position of power for how many years? Like when she first came into power, it was all about men, and she dealt with so many egos and still respected around the world still to this day, like as a beacon of like how you should act and how you should be, which is really like a good positive message, I think.
I've been here for about 3 hours, and the moment when the flag went to half-mast, there was a sort of gasp that went around.
She was a great example. And in a certain way, she was kind of family for me, because I live by myself here. I live nearby, so I walk next to the palace every day. It was a great example to follow, and I always felt very grateful because in a certain way, thanks to her, thanks to how she acted for the country, etc., I was able to be here and I was able to enjoy this beautiful country, this culture, etc.
She's a dear old lady. Like, that's the way I see her. I always saw her just kind of in the background doing her thing.
She was doing one of her colonial tours, and this time it was actually in Nairobi airport in Kenya. So that was the first time I actually saw the Queen in the flesh, and she was giving basically a salute to, I can't remember, I was about 8 years old.
Right.
I don't know about feminist. Obviously, there's a lot of traditional roles that she played and like a lot of traditional values that don't stand up today. But I think at the time and for the moment, she was a strong female presence, and it's nice to have that. But still, there's always a bad side.
My girlfriend just made the point about, what an incredible role model to women she is, but not just to women, to men as well. As I say, her staying power, her devotion to her country and to her sense of duty and service, which I think is lacking sometimes in parts of the modern world.
She's done a lot of good, but then I also do see why people have an issue with the royal family and kind of what they stand for on some levels. But I think inherently she's just been a solid foundation.
We miss leaders like her, I feel. Like every Christmas, for every crisis she was here, giving an example, being always like never emotional like me, but always very, very fair and very reasonable and very calming. When she was.
So do you wish France had a royal leader like her?
Definitely. I wish someone could lead the example, and she was a real part of history, of British history, and I do feel it was important to have someone like her.
Continuity and community connection to an older generation. She's been a constant in the majority of our country's lives and people around the world. And I think what she stands for in terms of duty and service that she never asked for, doing it every day, uncomplainingly, to literally yesterday, is extraordinary.